There's a new force rising in the skies, and its name is the F-47. Built by Boeing, this next-generation fighter is designed to rewrite the rules of air dominance, a symbol of America's determination to stay untouchable. But across the Pacific, a new challenger has stepped into the arena. China isn't watching quietly anymore. It's developing a jet built for one mission: to hunt down and eliminate the F-47 if the day ever comes. The countdown is over. The battle for air supremacy has officially begun. And in this video, we're taking you straight to the front lines. Before we dive in, here's what you need to know. In March 2025, the U.S. Air Force signed a staggering $20 billion deal with Boeing under the Next Generation Air Dominance Program, or NGAD. Their mission? To build the F-47, a fighter jet that could redefine the future of aerial warfare and possibly become America's first true sixth-generation aircraft. On March 21, 2025, President Donald Trump stood before the nation, joined by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Air Force Chief of Staff General David Alvin. That day, they unveiled a new symbol of American air power, the F-47. Built to take the mantle from the legendary F-22 Raptor, this aircraft isn't just an upgrade, it's a statement, a promise that the United States will dominate the skies against any rival, especially China. The plan is bold: between 200 and 250 jets, funded by nearly $20 billion over the next 5 years. It's not just a purchase, it's an investment in the future of American air superiority. But that level of power doesn't come cheap. Each F-47 carries an estimated price tag of around $300 million, meaning the total program could demand another $50 billion before it's done. It's a familiar story. The F-22 Raptor, once hailed as unbeatable, faced the same problem: runaway costs. At roughly $350 million per jet, the Air Force had no choice but to slash its original goal of more than 300 aircraft, ending up with just 187 in service. History, it seems, might be repeating itself. Even with the breakthroughs in design, the F-47 still comes with a hefty price tag, around $300 million per jet. Sure, that's cheaper than the F-22, but it's nearly 3 times the cost of a Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II. And here's where things get complicated. Lockheed claims the F-35 can be upgraded to deliver about 80% of the F-47's performance for half the price. So the question everyone's asking is simple: why build the F-47 at all? That very question kept echoing through the halls of the Pentagon. By May 2024, the U.S. Air Force decided to hit pause on the entire NGAD program, launching a full-scale review to answer one critical question: is the F-47 really worth it? For months, analysts ran endless simulations, pored over data, and debated the future of air combat. And when the dust settled, the verdict was clear: the F-47 wasn't just justified, it was essential. The conclusion? This jet isn't another expensive toy. It's the most dependable path to secure air dominance in the next generation of warfare, especially against China. The F-47's capabilities stand in a league of their own. Nothing else even comes close. And that kind of superiority is exactly what the U.S. Air Force is counting on, especially now that China isn't working on one, but 2 next-generation fighters of its own. Then came the footage that stunned analysts worldwide. On December 26, 2024, a video surfaced online showing 2 mysterious aircraft soaring through Chinese airspace, both appearing to be in the middle of test flights. They were soon recognized as the J-36 and J-50. The J-36, if these identifications hold, appears to be more than just another prototype. Photogrammetry estimates from leaked footage suggest an airframe roughly in the 70 or 90-foot class, with internal bays sized to house both long-range air-to-air missiles and modular mission pods. Its avionics architecture is reported to rely on distributed sensor nodes rather than a single monolithic radar, giving the jet a layered detection envelope and multiple redundant data paths. That approach reduces vulnerability to single-point failures and improves survivability in contested electromagnetic environments. The J-36 appeared noticeably larger than the J-50, sparking speculation that it could be China's true sixth-generation fighter, or at least a prototype connected to it, while the J-50 acts as its AI-controlled loyal wingman. One of the biggest leaps in modern air warfare is this very concept: autonomous wingmen flying alongside manned fighters, ready to escort them into battle and amplify their combat power like never before. The J-36 loyal wingmen concept seems to be built around three operational pillars: autonomy, sensor sharing, and expendability. These unmanned platforms are not simple drones. They act as remote sensors, decoys, and weapons platforms that can be staged well ahead of the manned fighter. AI flight managers allow swarm elements to reconfigure roles on the fly, shifting from reconnaissance to suppression of enemy air defenses, SEAD, to kinetic strike as the battle demands. This creates a multi-vector threat that compresses decision cycles for any opposing commander. The F-47 won't be flying alone either. It will have its own autonomous wingman by its side. According to the U.S. Air Force, the J-36 is believed to be a dedicated air superiority fighter, positioning it as a direct rival to the F-47. With its tailless tri-engine layout and a suite of next-generation technologies, the J-36 could become a serious threat to America's dominance in the skies. Structurally, the J-36's Diamond Double Delta offers low observability at multiple aspect angles, but it also supports internal carriage for conformal fuel tanks and mission modules trading signature for endurance when needed. The tri-engine layout provides both redundancy and the raw mass flow required for sustained supercruise under load. Early chatter among analysts suggests the aircraft's thermal management and infrared suppression systems are advanced enough to reduce IR detectability at cruise, complicating long-range heat-seeker engagements. While official confirmation is still missing, early analyses suggest the J-36 was engineered with stealth and long-range operations and mine capabilities perfectly suited for the vast Indo-Pacific theater where any future US-China air confrontation is most likely to unfold. The tailless, diamond-shaped double delta wing, designed much like a flying wing, drastically reduces its radar visibility from multiple directions. Powered by three WS-10C engines, and expected to later upgrade to the more advanced WS-15S, the J-36 is believed to supercruise at Mach 1.35, with a combat range reaching roughly 1,750 miles. That combat radius, about 1,750 statute miles, translates into genuine operational reach across the Indo-Pacific. From forward basing in the Chinese mainland or Hainan Island, the J-36 can operate deep into contested choke points, patrol sea lanes, and conduct standoff strikes without depending on vulnerable forward logistics. The combination of range and drone integration means the J-36 is effectively a flying command and control node optimized for distributed, networked campaigns across maritime theater depths. With that kind of range, the J-36 could project its power deep into contested zones like the South China Sea. China has already proven itself a global leader in unmanned aerial technology, frequently showcasing this dominance at its air shows. By combining AI-driven drones with manned fighters, Beijing could dramatically multiply the J-36's combat effectiveness, and with it, the challenge to US air superiority. On the sensor front, Chinese prototypes appear to employ multi-band AESA radars, S-band for volume search, X-band for precision, advanced passive detection suites, and optical, divided by IR sensor fusion. Cross-platform networking reportedly ties airborne sensors to satellite relays and ground nodes, creating a near real-time battlespace picture. In practice, this means a J-36 formation could cue loitering munitions and long-range missiles with minimal human latency, placing enormous pressure on defensive timelines. The J-36 is built to serve as a command hub for unmanned combat jets, capable of directing drone swarms for surveillance, jamming, or precision strikes. This manned-unmanned integration mirrors what the U.S. Air Force is developing with the F-47 and its loyal wingmen, officially known as Collaborative Combat Aircraft, or CCA. Doctrinally, the People's Liberation Army Air Force, PLAFA, seems to be evolving toward distributed lethality, an offense-first concept that favors rapid strikes, sensor saturation, and contested airspace control rather than traditional attritional defense. The J-36's role would be to orchestrate distributed attacks, launch swarms to overwhelm sensors, use electronic attack to blind radar sectors, and then commit manned fighters for precision engagements. That style of warfare forces opponents to solve simultaneous problems across multiple domains, air, space, cyber, and sea at the same time. China's rapid pace in testing its unmanned loyal wingmen points to a much more aggressive timeline compared to the United States. This speed poses a serious challenge. China's industrial tempo is not just about volume, it's about iterative improvement. Aircraft that fly early feed thousands of hours of flight data back into design loops, allowing software patches, avionics tweaks, and hardware upgrades far faster than historically possible. A J-36 brought to limited service could receive multiple capability enhancements within months, leaving a later-entered competitor chasing newer baselines instead of original projections. While the F-47 has been undergoing flight trials as an X-plane since 2019, its full-scale production and technical development only kicked off in March 2025, with operational deployment expected by 2029. By contrast, the J-36 has already completed multiple test flights, signaling that China is moving fast. Experts believe Beijing could reach initial operational capability well before the F-47, giving it a crucial head start and potentially claiming the title of the world's first true sixth-generation fighter jet. If that timetable holds, China gains not only a material edge, but an intelligence edge. Operational use reveals vulnerabilities, electromagnetic signatures, and tactics that can be measured, exploited, and quickly corrected. This is the classic advantage of first deployment in a high-tech arms race. Real combat data beats lab charts. For decades, China has been seen as a master of imitation, borrowing US designs through reverse engineering and espionage to build cheaper, less capable copies. But this time, if China truly takes the lead, the question becomes far more unsettling. Who are they copying now? Yet modern capability is not solely a matter of copying hardware. The true multiplier is systems integration, marrying sensors, cyber, and logistics into a cohesive kill chain. The J-36 program's greatest innovation may be in how effectively Beijing ties air, sea, and space assets into a single operational fabric. That is the real prize any rival must counter. Such a milestone would boost China's confidence not only on the world stage, but also at home, by showcasing its ability to outperform global powers, even if only for a moment. And if the J-36 enters service well before the F-47, that early lead gives Beijing valuable time to refine and enhance its fighter using real-world flight data, while the US is still finalizing its base model. For years, China's manufacturing machine has been running at an astonishing speed, cranking out warships and fighter jets in mere months. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has repeatedly voiced concern over America's sluggish industrial growth, urging a massive push to revitalize US manufacturing power and close the widening gap. So, how should the US respond? The F-47 program is not blind to these challenges. US countermeasures are multi-layered: advanced sensor fusion to detect swarms at range, passive and active electronic warfare suites to disrupt enemy C2 links, and a distributed architecture that allows F-47s to share targeting with stealthy stand-in assets and long-range effects like hypersonic missiles or standoff LRASM variants. In short, the American answer is convergence combined technical superiority with doctrinal flexibility and allied integration to blunt a mass-driven approach. That's why the race still hangs in the balance. No one knows which sixth-generation fighter will take to the skies first. Will it be China's J-36 or America's Boeing F-47 leading the next era of air dominance? Tactically, F-47 operations would emphasize deception and attrition management, use CCAs and loyal wingmen to probe and flush enemy networks, apply layered electronic attack to blind early warning radars, and push long-reach sensors, UAVs, satellites, and AWACS in lofted orbits to reclaim the sensor advantage. Network defenses, allied basing, and integrated strike packages can offset raw production numbers by raising the marginal cost for China to exploit any single advantage. The final point is simple. Technology alone won't decide the winner. Strategy, industry, alliances, and the speed of learning in operational environments matter more than any single aircraft. Whoever can integrate pilots, machines, software, and logistics into a resilient, adaptive force will control the skies in the 2030s, whether that force flies under a US or Chinese flag. The rest comes down to execution. But beyond the engines, algorithms, and stealth coatings, this race is about something far greater, a contest of national will. The F-47 is more than just a machine. It's a statement that the United States will never surrender its command of the skies. Across the Pacific, the J-36 carries a similar message that China will no longer play catch-up. Both nations are now locked in a technological duel, where innovation is measured not in years, but in months. AI learns faster, factories build faster, and decisions on what defines air superiority are shifting by the day. In this new era, dominance isn't guaranteed, it must be earned over and over again. So as the J-36 streaks across test ranges in China, and the F-47 takes shape in Boeing's hangars, one truth remains. The next battle for control of the skies won't be fought just with missiles or speed, it will be fought with data, autonomy, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. And when that day comes, when both jets finally meet above the Pacific, we'll find out whose vision of the future truly owns the sky. Thank you for watching the video. See you again.